Hello everybody, in this episode we're gonna learn how to create our first tower and spawn it according to its cost. This tower has a cost of 5, so if we click here, we have lose 5, lose 5, you can't click anymore, but again, the tower gives you money every specific amount of time. So now we have enough, again, so that's all. Let's see how it works. So we're gonna talk first about the towers that we're gonna have in the game. We're gonna integrate 3 towers. One is gonna be offensive, one defensive, and one passive. The passive is gonna be used to gain money, just like the sunflower one in Plants and versus Zombies. So that one will do nothing apart from giving you money every now and then. It will be an interval of time. The offensive one will basically shoot the enemy, and the defensive one will not shoot them, but he will act as a barrier or like a defensive wall. So that one will have a higher amount of resistance or health or whatever we call it. So we have already 2 elements in here. We got this face mask, and then we got this, I think, pink man, and then we have 2 more. So I'm gonna have to decide on which does what. This pink guy looks really harmless because he doesn't have weapons or so. So I'm gonna keep him passive. He's gonna be the one that gives the money. This one looks scary, so he's gonna be more defensive. And then we're gonna have the ninja guy, which is gonna be the offensive one, and it's gonna be this guy. I don't think we can see it here, but it's still small. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply the same values in here. So let's open up the tower. So we have tower 1 and 2. Let's get 3. This guy is gonna be tower 3. And tower 3 is gonna have the ninja guy, and it's 4. So if I put it here, it's actually fine. Let's go with 2 because this one is 0, 1, 2. That's good. And this one will give money. This one will shoot. This one will be defensive, and this one will be shooting. I suppose it's gonna be spitting stuff. And again, we have to update our spawner values here. So we have tower 1, right? And we have tower 2. These 2 guys. So I'm gonna duplicate this one and call it tower 3. Let's double click and we enter the prefab window. So if we go ahead and then change this to the fall guy, you see it's a bit different because you'll see here the fall has the pixel per unit as 40, the same as the pink guy. Where is it? Yeah, fall 40. Whereas this guy has 100. So I changed it to accommodate the scales in our game. So let's go click here. Let's minimize this and drag and drop this guy here. That's amazing. We've got this stuff. Let's go back. So we got 2. Let's make them 3. Here we go. Drag it from the prefab folder. Put it over here. And then we have to also assign the UI of the tower. So let's put it here. Save it. And that should be everything. So if we test it right now, we can drag and drop any of those towers. Say this one, put it here. This one, put it here. This one, put it here. See, it's fine. Oh wait, we have a problem. Why is that happening? If I double click here, wait, did I click something wrong? No, everything's fine. Okay, let's test it again. If I click 3, drop. Oh, I think everything was fine. I was supposed to reselect it, that's all. Here we go. Yep, that's good. So we have 3 towers spawning. So let's start with the first tower. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first one that gives you money. So inside the game, I'm gonna call it, let's call it tower pink. I don't know what to call it. Should I call it the function of the tower, or should I just call it the that's just the appearance. Let's go tower pink. That's fine. And let's open this one up. I don't know why I have two. It's fine. Okay. So first of all, let's import from the Unity UI images, the UI, so we can probably deal with the images. So this tower, we already have it spawning. That's amazing. All we need to do is, when we spawn it, it's gonna start function, right? So the first thing we need to do is, I want to think about what is it gonna represent in the UI. I think there's gonna be nothing in UI. I don't think we need this. Just used to importing it all the time. So the fields will include, I want to say, let's do as abstract as possible, all right? First of all, tower level, okay? And then let's go ahead with income value. And then let's go income. No, let's go interval for income, okay? And the second thing is, let's go health. What else? So we have the health of it, probably should be the first one. The level and the income value and the interval. What else we need? Yes, we need cost value, right? I think that's enough. This tower level, I'm gonna remove it. It's gonna, because the level we're not gonna be using it at the moment. It's gonna be probably for more advanced usage, where we have to have the income value of each level, and then the increment value, or probably the goal value of the next levels. For example, level 1 is gonna be 5, level 2 is gonna be 7, etc. For methods, we have, of course, init, which starts. Let's see what it's basically gonna start the timer for the income interval, and then most likely that's all we have right now. Next thing is interval coroutine, or I'm gonna say it numerator, which is gonna be working as a timer. And what else? Let's go ahead and call this income, or like trigger income increase. This will be called at every X amount of seconds, let's say. Let's here go lose health. And then let's go with die, or at least, yeah, just die. Oh, that's too much. It's fine. Let's keep it die. So let's start ahead with this one. Let's go public integer health. Okay? And go public integer income value. And then public float interval. And then public integer cost. Why this one is float is because it's gonna be decimal based value. So the first thing is, in public void init, we're gonna call this enumerator. So go ahead, let's create an enumerator. Let's go interval, and we're gonna have to yield return new wait for seconds, and then we're gonna have to wait for the interval value of the upper field. As soon as this happens, we're gonna trigger the trigger the income increase. So start coroutine interval. That only happens once, and when this happens every X amount of value. So here, public, I'm gonna go ahead and make it public also. We might be calling it from outside. So increase, or let's say, yeah, increase income. Or we can go call it trigger, that's it. Because, no, it's fine. Increase income. I don't wanna have a generic naming for all the towers because they have different scripts. It's fine. So increase amount, income. What we're gonna do in here is, so at this point we're gonna have to call the currency system and increase the value. So calling that one is something that you might decide, you know, at your own way. You can do it in having a singleton here, right? Having a game manager singleton. You can do the same thing for health system, make it singleton, and the currency singleton, and spawner singleton. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do it simple. I'm gonna have only one singleton and then reference the other stuff. So let's go ahead and go spawner. Wait, do I have spawner singleton? No, it's fine. So here we go, we have spawner, public health system, and public currency system, or yeah, let's just call it currency. That's good. So let's save it, go back here, and drag and drop these ones in the proper fields. Spawner, health, and currency. Let's save it. So what I can do in here is, instead of making multiple singletons, I have only one singleton, and I can call it from within the game manager. So I can go game manager.instance currency. Oh, the name is wrong. Let's rename it currency. It's good. Currency dot gain, and then we have to gain the income value. So that's that. We can have more stuff in here, like a visual. So you know what? I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna do it here. Let's have this as its UI. Actually, not like this. We don't need UI. We need another method in here. Call it UI indication for. Actually, no need for that. We'll put it part of in here. So what we're gonna do is show. Let me think about it for a bit. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna have to show coin indication over the tower for short time, like milliseconds. So it's actually milliseconds, probably 0.1 second, you know. No, actually that's way too small. Let's have it half a second. And one way of doing this is to have that object preset by default. So let's have it here, another field called public game object. No, game object. OG coin. That's it. I'm gonna call it. Yes, I'm gonna call it. Or you know what? Yeah, let's work with this as simple as it is. I was thinking about making this more dynamic. Is having a dynamic image on top of the tower. Let's call it coin image object. And what we do in here, we have an I enumerator coin indication. So what happens here is we call it obj and the coin that's set active true, and then we make it false, but before it's false we yield return new wait. We wait for 0.5 seconds. So what this does is it does what it does. It shows it and then hides it. Start routine coin indication. We need this coin indication So that's good. So in the interval, we have to call the increase income. And when income increases, it gains the money in the inside the currency system with the value that we have set, and then it shows the coin and then hides it. That's fine. Lose health is basically lose health. It's gonna have health minus. And what's gonna happen here? We're gonna have to check if health equals -0. Debug that log. We call it name. Oh, okay. Tower is dead, and then we destroy it. We destroy game object. We can put some particle effects or stuff. Feel free to add as much as you want stuff in here. So this one just destroys it. When it's destroyed, everything is gone. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna put this here. Die. Let's put it in separate one. Die. Okay. Here we go. We got all the stuff in here. So let's go back to the scene after all this writing. Let's start testing. First of all, we're applying everything to this tower, right? So we're gonna go ahead with tower ping. So tower ping is, let's go ahead here. So we have the tower ping, which has all the elements in here. Let's give it a health of, actually it's low health. I'll give it 2, right? And the income value is 4. Interval is each 5 seconds. But the cost is, let's have a cost of 5. We need to add something in here. This is sprite renderer, so let's add another sprite. Coin. So go ahead and add coin image. Yes. Oh my god, that's huge. So this tower has the layer of 0. So towers is 0. So I'm gonna add this to the same layer, but just make it 1. And of course make it way much smaller, because I don't want to change. You know what? I can change this one to 40. No, actually that's even bigger. You know what? Let's keep it 150, 200, 300, 500. Alright, I think that's not the best approach. So because this image has been taken from a different assets, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just play with the scale. And I'm gonna put it here on the top of it. Let's have it 0.5. It's good. So this is an indication of. Let's make it less. No, 0.1 is fine. 0.7. 0.7, that's good. So this is a good indication of it. So let's keep it hidden by default, and we have to assign this object. So we have, what's going to happen is whenever we get the coin, it's going to kick, you know. All right, so we have the prefab in here with everything in it. We need to integrate the let's test the usage of it. All right, go ahead, choose it and put it here. So let's say wait 5 seconds. Oh wait, by the way, of course we should initiate this one. So again, this is good to be put on start, but I'm gonna have to be using it from here. So we have already a script here to spawn stuff. So we spawn the cell itself, but again, each tower has its own value, right? So we need to find out if it's possible. And I think I should put the cost in somewhere else. Okay, I have an idea. I should have thought this ahead, but let's create another script, call it tower. And this tower will be basically an interface that's going to be used. I don't know why this is a bug. I think I have two instances. That's fine. We need to set this from the start. Let's call it interface. Oh, come on, face tower. So this one will have public integer cost, and then public integer health. I assume. Oh wait, I'm doing something else. So let me just get the namings proper. So we need this and this. I think these are the common stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create. Okay. Let's go back here. No, that's the wrong place. To the script. I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused at the moment. Need to gather my thoughts. Okay, so let's remove these stuff. So we get the abstract class in here, and then what we can do is call it from, and it should be for mono. Oh, I added, of course, because I deleted it. Behavior. Let's remove this. So we get this abstract class. So what we have to do is we have to inherit from that tower class. And what's happening here, we have to override it, right? So we have to go new, actually. Oh, I forgot. It should be public virtual. Okay, I'm doing something wrong in here. You know what? Let's let me just check what I did wrong. Alright, I was using a lot of, I mixed a lot of stuff. So basically what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a script called class, and then give it the common values, and then inherit from here. So what we need to do, I need to remove these stuff because they're going to be part of the parent. Why I did this is I needed to, in a way, to read the values. So if you go back in here, it should be, let's let it load. So we can look at the tower itself. It still has all the elements, but again, it's part of tower. So what I want to do in here, in the script folder, sorry, script object, we go to the spawner. Before we spawn anything, okay, we need to check if we can spawn the tower. Check if currency is enough to spawn. So what we need to do in here is we have to go with if game manager dot instance dot currency dot enough. Wait, why is not? Is it? Oh, it's private. Let's make it public. It's we call enough. Then we have to pass the value of the tower. So that one is quite simple in a sense that we already choose the tower, right? And the tower has the script of its own functions. And for this one, it's tower ping, and it's part of tower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call here and call integer tower cost. Let's save it in here. And then we get the value by the spawn ID that we have. So we have the spawn ID, let's say 0, and then we access the prefab 0. Alright, so we go here, we go tower prefabs spawn ID. So now we got the game object, right, of the tower. Get component tower and cost. So we have this value gotten and saved in here, and then we have to go check if we have enough by passing the tower cost in here. So we have the else, and if it's enough, we do this. If it's not, just write not enough currency. And again, we can have this in a more proper way, like pop-ups and stuff. So let's give it a test. Just a disclaimer, this will not work on these two because these two don't have the script. So if we click here, we go ahead and, oh, I forgot. Whenever we spawn a tower, we need to initiate all the stuff. So we instantiate the object, we set its position, and then deselect tower. So we need to do is initiate the tower that we've done. Tower the component tower dot init. Yeah, I know we forgot to add something here called public void init. That's it. Yep, this one probably is gonna have to have add this way. So here we go. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so we spawn the tower, we initiate the tower, and then game manager that instance of currency. Actually, this has to be done in here. We need to use the amount of cost from the currency available. Here we go. That use our cost. All right. I think this should be how it works. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna test it on the first tower. All right. So if I click on this guy, put it here, I have an error. Huh. I think. Yep. It's the inheritance problem. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to set something differently here. So for the cost, I'm gonna get here integer tower cost. I'm gonna go make a switch value, and then put. What I'm gonna do is since I honestly chose the wrong approach, and the approach is not to create this class, and I'm gonna delete this one and then keep using the tower ping. Let's open this up again. I don't know why it's opening again. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna reset what I've done and then put the values again. Public integer health, and of course cost of tower, public integer cost. This is not the best approach, because if you have a lot of towers, you have to create some sort of a generic interface. But now I'm using only 3, that's why I went with this one, and then had the second thoughts of going to, parent into inheritance. But that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is, whenever we spawn a tower, I'm gonna check what's the cost of the tower, right? And then, bring it back. And in each tower, this will become start. So the start, we set everything. So I don't have to force call this one. It's getting called by default. So in the spawner, whenever we select a tower, let me just put it here. Whenever we select a tower, we have the index spawn ID. So in spawn ID means which tower I'm selecting. So for the first case is 0, which means the first tower we return I want to say the game object. So we return the tower prefab 0 dot get component tower pink dot cost. And for the other ones, I'm gonna have to do it, but I have to comment it out because they're not done yet. Default return 0. So honestly, I don't want to return anything here. So this one should be tower. So the second one is tower mask, and then tower ninja. So we're gonna have errors because we don't have them ready yet. So let's put it as it is. Default return no. Actually, I can't. I'll just 0. Actually, let's make it -1. So we get the tower cost. Actually, we don't have to save it anymore. So just put it in here. And if it's available, instantiate the. Actually, let's save it. Instantiate the. First of all, use the money and then spawn the tower. We don't need to do this. So that was a hell of a roller coaster. But again, ideas come along while I'm typing. So we got the tower with its own same values, right? Right now, we don't know how much this one costs, but we're gonna have to add the UI later on. So it costs us 5. So we have this 5. Let's say I click on this one, I spawn it here. Wait, still I have an issue. What is this? Oh, currency. Save, play. So let's go ahead. I forgot to reference it here. So we lost 5, right? Again, 5. So it gives not enough currency, right? But these guys are already working here. See, you got 5. I can spawn him. Let's wait for this guy. Boom. Oh, there's a big problem I forgot to do also. So these guys, they generate money every now and then, right? So the first time we enable the interval, we wait, let's say 3 seconds, happens. What's happening right now is it triggers the income, but that's it only once. So we have to recall the same method again. That's it. So it stays in some sort of a loop of increment. Whoa, that's a long way. So we have the first tower mechanics. Let's choose this tower, put it here. Let's wait 5 seconds. Or how long? 5 seconds, yes. Boop, we got 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, we got 15. This. We can't build anymore. But these guys can. See, now we're getting more money. We get 4. I'm gonna have 31. Yeah, 5. You know, that's good. And it's not gonna work on these two because we have to do them, you know, next. But for this episode, we tackled a lot of stuff. We actually decided on how we're gonna go with approach of selecting towers, spawning them, and initiate them, plus the first tower that we have. And I hope you liked this episode. If you did, hit the like and subscribe, also the bell to get the latest videos. Also join our Discord to get any more. If you have any questions, also hit them in the comments below. And for this episode, that's all I have. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.